Hey everyone! Welcome back to All About Skincare. Today we are talking about what I genuinely consider one of the most exciting categories in modern skincare science right now: peptides. Search trends confirm this. Peptide skincare searches grew by nearly 177% in a single quarter, making it the fastest growing ingredient category of the year. And the reason for that growth is not just clever marketing. It's that the science behind peptides has matured enormously over the last decade, and formulators are now creating products that deliver genuinely measurable anti-aging results through mechanisms that are smarter, gentler, and more targeted than many of the aggressive actives that dominated skincare for years. So today, we are going to do a full deep dive: what peptides actually are, the four main categories and what each one does in your skin, some of the most well-researched individual peptides you'll encounter on labels, how they compare to actives like retinol, and how to use them intelligently in your routine. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. Let's start with the basics. A peptide is simply a short chain of amino acids, the same building blocks that make up proteins. When we say short chain, we typically mean anywhere from 2 to 50 amino acids linked together. Proteins, by comparison, are much longer chains. Collagen, for instance, is a massive protein made of thousands of amino acids. The key insight is that peptides are small enough to penetrate the skin's surface and interact directly with biological targets inside the dermis, while still being complex enough to carry meaningful biological instructions. Think of them as very precise molecular messages that your skin knows how to read and respond to. Why does this matter for anti-aging? Because as skin ages, many of the signaling processes that keep it healthy, firm, and regenerating slow down or become disrupted. Collagen synthesis decreases, cellular communication becomes less efficient, and the skin gradually loses its ability to repair and maintain itself the way it did when it was younger. Peptides can step into those disrupted pathways and essentially reactivate them, not by introducing foreign chemistry, but by speaking the skin's own biological language. That's what makes them so compelling from a scientific standpoint, and why dermatologists and cosmetic chemists have invested so heavily in developing and refining them. I want to bring in a passage from a review that I found particularly clear and comprehensive on this topic. It's titled "Peptides: Emerging Candidates for the Prevention and Treatment of Skin Senescence," published in the journal Biomolecules in January 2025. The paper was accepted and indexed in PubMed Central with identifier PMC 11762834, and it states, "Peptides are novel active ingredients that improve collagen synthesis, enhance skin cell proliferation, or decrease inflammation. Based on their mechanism of action, they can be classified into signal peptides, carrier peptides, neurotransmitter inhibitor peptides, and enzyme inhibitor peptides." Signal peptides are used to stimulate fibroblast cells to increase collagen production and improve skin elasticity. Neurotransmitter inhibitor peptides relax facial muscles, minimizing expression wrinkles. Carrier peptides deliver essential trace elements to support skin repair. And enzyme inhibitor peptides reduce collagen breakdown, preserving the integrity of the skin. That passage is essentially the complete map of what peptides do and how they're organized. 4 categories, 4 distinct mechanisms, all addressing different aspects of skin aging simultaneously. Let's walk through each one in detail. Starting with signal peptides, these are the most widely used category in skincare formulations, and their primary job is to stimulate fibroblasts to produce more collagen, elastin, fibronectin, and other structural proteins. They work by mimicking fragments of the extracellular matrix that the skin recognizes as signals of tissue damage, essentially telling the fibroblasts, something needs repair here, ramp up production. The most famous example is matrixyl, which is the trade name for palmitoyl pentapeptide 4, or PAL-KTTKS. Matrixyl has been studied for over 2 decades and consistently shows meaningful improvements in skin firmness, wrinkle depth, and overall texture in clinical trials. There's also Matrixyl 3000, a more advanced combination that adds palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7 to the formula for broader structural support. These are gentle, highly effective, and suitable for all skin types, including very sensitive skin that cannot tolerate retinol or acids. The second category is neurotransmitter inhibitor peptides, and we've actually already explored the most famous one in this channel. Argireline, or acetylhexapeptide 8, belongs to this group. As we discussed in our Argireline episode, these peptides work by partially blocking the nerve signals that cause facial muscles to contract, which reduces the depth of dynamic expression lines over time. This is the topical mechanism most similar to what Botox does, softening muscle activity rather than stimulating structural proteins. Lufacel is another neurotransmitter inhibitor peptide that is often combined with Argireline in formulations for a synergistic effect. Together, the clinical evidence suggests they reduce expression lines more effectively than either one alone. The third category is carrier peptides, and these work in a completely different way. Rather than stimulating cells or blocking signals, carrier peptides act as delivery vehicles that transport essential trace elements, particularly copper and manganese, into the skin cells where they're needed. The most studied carrier peptide is GHK-Cu, or copper tripeptide 1. Copper is a cofactor in several key enzymatic processes involved in collagen and elastin synthesis, and GHK-Cu has shown remarkable properties including stimulation of collagen production, improvement in skin healing, antioxidant activity, and even modulation of inflammatory pathways. It has a remarkable clinical and research history going back to the 1970s, and recent studies continue to validate its regenerative and anti-aging effects. GHK-Cu is particularly valuable for skin that has been damaged by UV, by harsh actives, or simply by the accumulated stress of aging. The fourth category is enzyme inhibitor peptides, and these address a specific but critical aspect of skin aging: the activity of matrix metalloproteinases, the collagen-degrading enzymes we mentioned in our retinol and collagen episodes. As these enzymes become overactive with age and UV exposure, they break down the existing collagen network faster than fibroblasts can replace it. Enzyme inhibitor peptides, like soy isoflavones-derived peptides and rice bran peptides, block or slow down that degradation, essentially protecting the collagen you already have from being broken down prematurely. When you combine them with signal peptides that stimulate new collagen production, you're addressing the problem from both sides at once, building more and losing less. This is a question that comes up constantly in the skincare community, and I want to give you an honest answer. Retinol remains the most thoroughly validated anti-aging ingredient in dermatological science. Its mechanisms are deeply understood, its clinical evidence spans decades, and its ability to produce genuine, measurable skin transformation is unmatched among over-the-counter topicals. Peptides, taken individually, generally produce more modest results than retinol in comparative clinical studies. So, no, peptides are not a straight-up replacement for retinol if you're looking for maximum anti-aging efficacy. But that framing misses the real value of peptides, which is not potency but compatibility. Peptides are photostable, non-irritating, safe to use morning and evening, safe during pregnancy, and appropriate for the most sensitive skin types, none of which can be said of retinol. They work through complementary mechanisms that retinol doesn't address, particularly in the neurotransmitter inhibitor and carrier categories. And critically, they stack beautifully with retinol. Using both means you get retinol's powerful cellular renewal and gene expression effects, alongside the structural, signal-sending, and protective work of peptides. A growing body of evidence, including the 2025 paper we cited today, suggests that multi-peptide formulations used consistently over time produce cumulative anti-aging benefits that are genuinely clinically significant, particularly for people who cannot tolerate retinol or are looking for a long-term supportive approach rather than a short-term dramatic intervention. Peptides are most commonly found in serums, eye creams, and targeted treatment products, and in terms of timing, they are among the most flexible ingredients you'll work with. Unlike retinol, there's no photosensitivity concern, so morning and evening are both perfectly appropriate. In a layered routine, apply your peptide serum after cleansing and toning before heavier moisturizers. The idea is to give smaller actives a clean, well-hydrated surface to penetrate before you seal everything in. Because peptides work best in a slightly acidic to neutral pH range, try to avoid applying strong acid exfoliants like AHAs or BHAs at the exact same time in the same step, since very low pH environments can temporarily reduce peptide stability. This doesn't mean you can't use acids and peptides in the same routine. Just give the skin a few minutes between steps, or use acids in the morning and peptides at night. Peptides combine extraordinarily well with hyaluronic acid. The hydrated environment enhances their penetration and efficacy. With niacinamide, the combination provides both cellular energy support and structural rebuilding. With vitamin C in the morning, you're adding antioxidant protection on top of peptide-driven structural work, which is an excellent pairing for anyone focused on prevention. And with retinol at night, as we've discussed, the combination is probably the most comprehensive anti-aging approach available in over-the-counter skincare today. The key with peptides, as with every active we've covered in this channel, is consistency. These ingredients work gradually and cumulatively, building meaningful change over weeks and months of regular use. Peptides represent one of the most scientifically sophisticated and genuinely exciting developments in modern skincare. They're not a trend. They're the result of decades of biochemical research producing ingredients that work in harmony with your skin's own biology, rather than forcing dramatic changes that require a recovery period. Whether you're a beginner building your first real routine, someone who can't tolerate retinol, or an experienced skincare user looking to add another layer of intelligent support to what you're already doing, there is a peptide for you, and the evidence strongly supports making them a part of your long-term skin strategy. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are looking for real, evidence-based skincare content. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button and the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We've been building quite a library of ingredient guides here, and there is still a lot more coming. I'll see you in the next one. Take excellent care of your skin.